Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is brought to you by the Friends in Recovery community, a thriving network of individuals who are fighting back against the stigma of addiction. Join our hosts as they speak up about the real issues of addiction, treatment, and recovery. Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is available on Facebook, Podbean, iTunes, and YouTube 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, here are your Friends in Recovery.
Welcome back to the Friends in Recovery Podcast, everybody. I'm Jersey Ed, along with my two OG hosts, Buckeye Bambi and just Beth today. Boring, old, bitchy, bobblehead
What?
Beth.
What the fuck? Holy shit.
Listen, if you're not going to put a name up there, I am going to put one up for you. Boring,
Someone's
old,
feeling
bitchy,
today.
bobblehead Beth.
Oh man, it's on like Donkey
That's
Kong
right.
now.
That's
Ed.
right. So you haven't been in here, 10 months, and now we have to take.
Wait, I was gone 1 week.
Well, I think in our viewers' eyes, it might have been 2 because of the recording with Amanda Black. So,
Oh, so I was gone for 2
you
weeks.
were. Yeah. Me and Bambi were here. We were holding down the fort.
Now we're all here.
I don't want to tell you. Oh, it is a kitty cat.
Oh,
Here's Charlie.
Aw.
He gets up every day and chooses violence.
Choosing violence.
He does, dude. He chooses violence. Don't bite my face.
Beth's
okay?
cat chooses violence, everybody. Not love, but violence. So
That's right.
well, guys, it's just the three of us today. We usually have Jill, or you want to cough into that microphone again for us, Beth? Thanks,
Sorry.
Beth. We appreciate
real
it.
life here.
That's right. That's right. We're doing a show. Do you want us to take a moment and you just do what you need to do, and we'll just kind of wait for you?
He's picking on you, Beth.
Because I love Beth. I love Beth. I'm in a mood today. So anyways,
all good.
so it's just the three of us. We do have Jill coming on every once in a while, and Dan. They do add some good stuff to the show. And I can't say they are our regular co-hosts just yet, but they will pop on in every once in a while, and they add a lot of good stuff. But who knows? Maybe one day we'll have everybody on here and we'll all talk for 5 hours. So
Oh my.
I know.
It seems excessive.
It is. But you know what? I like the longer podcasts because when I run, I could listen to my long runs. I can listen to the whole podcast.
Yep.
I don't have to stop and have to figure out what the next podcast is. So if anybody has any podcasts that they know out there that are longer than an hour, let me know. Email us at help at friendsandrecoverypodcast.com or call us at 800-989-6504 and let me know what you think about those podcasts. So I listen to Sober Pod all the time, guys. And that's like my go-to on the runs. And Carl's like on and off sporadic now because his host Chelsea, they have I guess Chelsea's really busy, so it's hard for him to do a show. So when it comes on, I'm like, yeah, it's on. And then he does these snippets real quick. If you go to SoberPod and you look it up, he does these snippets of his book reading. He reads his book on there. Like every day he reads the book and puts it out every day. So, I listen to that, but that's like 2 minutes and I can't do that, when I'm running, I can't do that. So, but that book is very good. So I was speaking of the book. Let's listen to this real quick.
Are you a rebel seeking transformation in your recovery journey? Then 366 fucking days sober is the book for you. 366 daily meditations. This book by the SoberPod Recovery Podcast host and professional rebel, Carl, will help guide you towards a new way of thinking and living. Each daily meditation offers a fresh perspective, practical advice, and a healthy dose of Carl's irreverent humor to help you stay sober and embrace the challenges of life without drinking, drugging, or shitting your pants. Whether you're just starting your recovery journey or looking for a daily dose of encouragement and laughs, 366 fucking days sober is the book for you. So, If you're ready to transform your life and become the rebel you were meant to be, get your copy of 366 fucking Days Sober. Today. Available today on Amazon.com.
All right. Welcome back. That is the book I'm talking about, guys. What Carl does every day on his show. So go listen to Sober Pod. That's enough of plugs for Carl. A commercial, talking about him, making nice. I'm putting Beth down and I'm talking real nice about Carl.
I'm glad I'm out of the mix today.
I know. You're safe. Well, I always pick on Beth, and Beth, you always pick on me too. Right?
Yeah. That's our
thing. We're like Linus and Charlie Brown. No. Okay.
Charlie Brown and Linus don't make fun of each other.
Lucy. Yeah. I would go kick the football and you would pull it away and I'd fall on my ass. Yeah, see? Oh yeah, that's you. I knew it. Anyways.
You and I are petulant child.
Yes, exactly.
And Bambi is the
She
adult
is.
in the room.
She is.
Someone has to,
somebody has to
in line.
keep us in line. That's right.
You better watch out. Like after 20 years sober, Bambi, this is what you will going to become.
We're just going to be.
So it's coming.
Yeah. I only have 18 more to go now.
Oh, we're safe for a while, thank God.
Bambi's on the accelerated rate. By the time she has 5 years, she's going to give zero fucks.
That's right. And she's going to know more than you and I put together, right? I mean, we're going to be like going to Bambi for like, information now. Bambi, what are we going to do? We still do. We do. You're right.
We already do.
I know. And I had to ask permission. Bambi, can we talk about this topic today, right? And she's like, yeah, okay, that's a good topic, right? I did. I asked her for permission to talk about a topic.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is how it rolls.
I heard it.
Anyways, guys, so go listen to those podcasts. And if you want to get a hold of us on our website, friendsinrecoverycommunity.org. And that's it for all the stuff that I have here. So we were going to talk about act as if, or act your way into it, or
fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. Imposter syndrome, all that good stuff we were going to talk about. So, Carl, I hope you're jotting all these names down because one of those are going to be the name of the show. So, and I think we found that in Carl's book, correct? Is that where we found it? So, I think we should just read that and just go, because I can still bust on Beth for the next half hour and then we can call it a show. It's up to you guys.
I'll read.
See, Mom knows best.
Bambi.
Mom knows best. We're like the two kids in the backseat. Shut up! Shut up! We're not there yet. Shut up!
Stop touching me! Stop touching me!
Mom, she thinks I'm touching her, Mom, and she has the ice cream.
Time to read, children.
Oh my God!
And at an early age, some of us are exposed to a world beyond our ability to understand. It can be highly confusing and point us down a path where we may mimic or emulate the things and actions of others in our lives. We are perceptive creatures with great fucking powers of observation. Some of us saw violence, abuse, both verbal and physical, childish behavior from adults, etc. The list could go on and on. We repeat these things because that's how we think the world works or how we should act. Then, as we get older, we get signs and signals from others that maybe it's not supposed to be like this. Perhaps we weren't raised with much consideration and or love. If we are lucky, others will try to demonstrate how we might be able to change, relearn, rethink our path and perceptions. The reflection: who has tried to show you a new path to live by? Did you take it seriously or think they were full of shit? Daily challenge: who do you want to be today? Pretend all day that's who you are. Try it on. Act your way into it, just for today.
Act your way into it.
That's a really good reading, dude. That's like not surface shit right there. Like that's some deep, like it feels like it was addressing both sides of it too. Mm-hmm. It's like, what did I receive, right? What did I learn? And what am I trying to relearn and emulate? Mm-hmm. Like
it's pretty deep.
And right. Yeah. And then he's like, who is trying to teach you now? And do you believe them or are they full of shit? I immediately thought of my boss because she's trying to retrain me. It's a good thing. Okay. She's trying to retrain me in how I approach my job, and I'm hook, line, and sinker, and it's starting to sink in, and I'm emulating. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was deep, dude.
Well, I mean, you said it before, imposter syndrome, right?
100%. Like, we're out there just acting our way into right thinking, and we feel like we're a fraud, but then you turn around and you've been doing it for a year. That's not pretending. That's
real.
That's
Yeah. Well, and we were joking around about Bambi, you know, having 5 years, she has more time than us, but that's true. You know, if, you know, and we joke around, but you can kind of put that into it too, like act your way into it. Bambi is acting her way into it that so much that her recovery is through the roof. I mean, and sometimes we can't see that. And Bambi, I'm not saying you can or you can't, but sometimes you can't see that. And, you know, I don't know how you feel when you come into this room, but when Beth started, I felt very like, oh God, it's over a year now. When Beth started, I felt very self-conscious, like Beth knows a lot more than me and blah, blah, blah. And, she has all these sponsees and she talks to her sponsor all the time. It's just that bullshit in my head, right? That bullshit in my head. I know what I know and it's okay. Beth knows what she knows and it's okay. And Bambi knows what she knows and it's okay, but we get into our heads thinking that, it's crazy, and that's where the imposter syndrome comes into, but the act the way into it. I like that, guys. And, what are some of the things that you guys maybe in early recovery or today act your way into it? And, then once we act our way into it, it just became like normal, like what was some of those things that you guys, if you can recall those?
So I actually had no upbringing. Like I was raised in a box pretty much. So when I got sober, I was like, I had never had sushi when I got sober. I had never experienced most things in this world. Right. So I had something called the ideal woman, and I would reach into every single, situation I would walk into, I'd be like, what would Mrs. Delaney do? What would my sponsor do? What would Terry do? What would Anne Marie do? You know what I mean? And I still do that. I can't even tell you, I emulate Cass and Nicoletta and Elizabeth. And do you know what I mean? These women in my life that I'm like, well, what would, Elizabeth would just show up and see what happens and be of service. And it's like, okay, I'll emulate that. And then after a while, you turn around and you hear somebody say, well, I just pulled a Beth.
That's good.
That sounds bad, but
no, but it's good.
It's good though. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and emulate or take a piece of each person, right? My sponsors early on, he said, Ed, you just, you take a little bit of everybody and you build yourself. That's what it is, and those people are important to you in your life. And I have that group of people too, that I kind of pull from to make who I am. So I can't, and Beth and you and Bambi are part of that, part of my recovery and part of, what life brings us. And, I can act as if or act my way into it, but I have to be me, right? Does that make sense? I have to be who I am, not who Beth is. I like her recovery, but I can't, I can't do what she does in her recovery because it's just not me, And I think what's the old saying, be yourself because everybody else is taken, right? So whatever that looks like, but it's okay to take a little bit of Beth, and it's okay to take a little of Bambi and my sponsor and this person, that person, and build who I am today. And there's certain parts of my life I'm gonna lean on other people to grow myself. Right. And if we don't do that, you're fooling yourself. Well, actually, you're not fooling yourself. If you're not doing that and not being open to other people and their ideas and the way they think and all that, you're not growing. You're just not growing. You're stuck. You're stubborn. You're not going to go anywhere. You probably have a job that you hate, right? And you probably have some position that, whatever your life is, it's probably stagnant and boring, right? And that happens. And I'm not saying everybody has that, but when you don't keep your mind open and act as if you wish or as you want to be, right? I wanted to be who I am today years and years ago. I had that mindset just to keep going. Now today I have another idea in my head. So it's going to take whatever it is. Could take a year, could take 10 minutes, could take 20 years, whatever it is. I'm going to grow to who I need to be. you know? And I think if we don't, I think we're, number one, cheating ourselves if we think this is the best it's going to get, right? Number one. And number two, you know, we're not growing and we're not learning. I always say, if you're not learning, you're not growing, you know? And, the other day, Bambi, you were talking, we were talking earlier about, Jeff Zazel, who used to come on the show, and he did an amazing presentation for my lifelong wellness people, and you know, he's just, you know, he's just that guy who is a big part of my life too, you know, and he's that guy who kind of makes me see differently. And he said, Ed, he goes, one of your core values is learning. And it's true. I never even realized that. It's true. And that's one of my core values is learning. So this all ties together. Act as if you act your way into it. And that's learning, right? That's about learning, you know, and that's why I kind of gravitated to it. So anyways, what's your latest thought on all this? Or if you want to talk about another subject or end the show, just let me know.
Well, Bambi, like, how do you do this?
Well,
like, how does that work?
You know, I think this is a real fascinating topic for me because the whole time, and y'all know I wasn't a one or doneer. I went to 4 rehabs before I got it because I wouldn't admit I was an alcoholic, you know. So the last time when I said, okay, I'm really going to work the program. I'm going to go to this stupid ass AA. I'm going to work my program. I'm going to get a sponsor. And I'm like talking to my counselor and it's like, well, how do you pick a sponsor? She's like, you'll know. You pick someone that you want what they have. And I thought, that's the stupidest shit. You know, that's stupid. How, you know, but you know what? It's so true. You know, when my sponsor, and I was in a few meetings with her, you know, quite a few before I asked her to be my sponsor. And it's like, she had everything I wanted. I wanted to emulate that on a daily basis. I wanted to have that. She had this joy and peace inside of her and laughed. Oh my God. And she's got this contagious laugh, you know, and it's like, it's from the gut. You could tell she's like, does a belly laugh, you know? And I'm like, when was the last time I laughed like that? And it was like, that's what I want. I want to be just like that. Yeah. And so, I mean, and then like Ed says, I think you do take stuff from everyone, you know, you take, you get bits and pieces and things like that. But like in my 2 years that I've been sober, it's like, I just absorb. It's like I've been a sponge, you know, and I want to learn every time someone says something, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to remember that. I want to remember it. You know, I remember taking notes. In probably the first year, every meeting I went to, I would just take notes and take notes and take notes, you know, because it's like, yes, I want to remember that. I want to, you know, because I wanted to emulate all of them. And now for me, when it says act as if, like, I'm generally I wake up way too bubbly. Most people can't stand me in the morning.
Me too.
Even before caffeine, you know. And I'm very positive, and I just have always woke up in a early and a good mood. Well, my husband is exactly opposite. So
mine too.
I know. Mine too. Not my husband.
Well, he'll wake up grumpy and negative, and I'm like, I'll leave the room. If you don't stop, I will just leave because you will not take away this lovely peace and happiness that I have every day. And it's helped him too, because he knows I'm not going to sit and watch the news with you. If you start being negative, if you start talking to those people on the TV, I'm out of here. You know? So,
well, you know what? They say that we are part of, like, the 5 people we hang around with is who we emulate. I don't know if emulate's right. I forgot what it is, but there's a saying. I think John Maxwell talks about it. But the 5 people we hang around with is the 5 people who you not become, but you kind of take on their traits, their characteristics, and so be careful who you hang around with. Yeah, Beth.
Yeah, water seeks its own level.
Yeah. So,
and it's like, you know, when you've met somebody that's on the same vibration as you, because you immediately click. And I think that's why so many of us in AA click, is because we all run on generally that same vibration. And when you're working a program, your vibration just excels, right? It gets higher and higher. And you can tell when someone's in pain because their vibration is lower.
Yes.
So it's like you walk into a meeting and you see your buddy or you see your sponsor, you see your sponsee, and you're like, what is going on? like we vibe. Like water is always going to seek the same level. Like,
well, especially being this sensitive, or being this positive and being that happy and being in that situation, you don't want to be pulled down, because you can be. Like, you put those people around you, you're not going to be that happy person anymore, and then you get sucked into it. And there's people in my life I had to kind of cut out, because it wasn't fun. Life was not good. They were good people, but it was just not serving me good purpose anymore. And, I couldn't act as if anymore. As either I was going to become not become that person, but I was taking on those traits of that person, or it's time to move on to the next, whatever it is, we were, and we weren't, but, I always think about like our circle of friends. Like, I don't have a ton of friends in my like inner circle, because there's only certain people that I can put in there, because I need to pull from those people. I need to understand those people, and vice versa, and then there's another circle of friends I have that are, hey, how's it going every day, acquaintance, whatever it is. But I wouldn't go to that second circle, that second tier, like I would for my first tier. And there might be only 2 or 3 people in that first tier. So, be careful who you surround yourself with. Be careful what you read. Be careful what you listen to, and be careful what you watch on TV, because this all pulls into, what affects us and how we become, and act your way into it. We can act our way into the bad stuff too, guys, and not even realizing it, right? The pity parties, the victimization, the poor me bullshit, we can act our way into that too, because once we get into that mindset, I feel sorry for you. Yeah. But you know what happened to me the other day, and then you just get into that bullshit because you're acting how that other person is. Right. And then next thing you're around your husband, your wife, or whatever. Oh my God, what happened to me the other day? And you're like, holy shit, where the fuck did that come from? So, so you have to be careful. It could go both ways, Yeah. So
I know I have a friend that I've had that was like my best friend growing up. I mean, from like literally 6 years old on. But as we've grown, and we've never like completely lost touch. But after I got sober, I'm like, she's so negative. How did I tolerate that? How did I? Because
you were negative.
Exactly. Because I was the same way, And so she would talk about, oh, poor me. And then I would outdo her. Well, no, listen to this, because I have it really bad, And now I can't do it. I mean, I can like say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and that's about it. No deep. I just can't. I can't be around that.
Because your growth, because where we're at today, right? I mean, think about it. The friends, even if we think about the friends that we had before recovery, we don't have them anymore, number one, because, they don't understand it, or if they're in recovery, then obviously we have them. But, even our friends from 5 years ago probably look different. That inner circle always, you can pull people in and out of it, because, you can't, if you're going to grow, you can't be around somebody who doesn't have growth in their life. My sponsor is a perfect example of that. I can sit and listen to him all day long. Like, I can stay on the phone with him for hours, right? And just listen to him, because he's a wealth of information. He knows recovery inside and out. And it's just amazing, like, what this guy knows. Like, how the fuck do you know this stuff? Like, do they program you every week and put all this shit into your fucking head? Like, I don't get it, right?
He's got a weekly download.
I know. I think that's what it is, because there's certain days they can't get a hold of him. Maybe that's when they plug him in. So
that's when he's plugged in. Yeah, he can't answer.
But do you guys know any people like that where you can just listen to him? Nicoletta, I'm sure, is one of those people, right, Beth?
Oh God, yeah, all of the people that I hold close to my heart. Like, I could sit and listen to Cass, Anne Marie, Nicoletta, Elizabeth, Beth Sunny, like Beth Prue. I could listen to these women. And I think that that's what keeps us so close is that, like, I don't get to talk to Beth very often, but when we do, it's like no time has passed, because there's just a constant exchange. I could constantly listen to her. She's having new experiences. And I think that that's the thing too. So when we're constantly having new experiences, right? And what's required to have new experiences is the ability to think critically, right? So you said earlier in the conversation today that, like, you have to be careful what you read, careful what you listen to. So yes and no. Like, right, if we want to continually grow, we have to go experience new things, right? So we have to know who we are, and then we have to subject ourselves to a different opinion or something new, and then bring it back with our critical thinking and decide, right? Instead of just buying in, we have to decide, is this something I want to add, or do I want to shift, or do I want to reject? So it's like, but when we have that group of people that we can go to, we take that new information and we bring it to them. And that's where this constant exchange of ideas is always moving and that's how we grow, right? I'm so sick and tired of people saying everything I need comes out of the big book. No, it doesn't.
No, I agree.
The only reason that big book exists is to clear away the wreckage that is blocking you from your God, because the only thing keeping you sober is God. Once you have a connection with God, you go take a fucking TED talk and learn how to think critically, and then go out there and just make a beautiful mess, man. Just make a beautiful mess, bring it back to your core, and use your critical thinking skills. Like, how lucky are we that we get to make these choices in our lives? Like,
yeah, I mean, be open-minded and learning, and here's an example I was talking about, Beth. I mean, I'm not saying don't listen to certain things, so for years I listened to Howard Stern. He's funny. He's great. He's wonderful. Right. He's great. But I would buy all his products. I own every toothbrush that he sold. I own Squatty Potty. I own Pajamagram. You name it, right? I own it, right? So I'm thinking to myself, what am I getting out of this? His sponsors are being, I'm buying all the shit from his sponsors. He's talking about, everything, which is great. I'm not putting it down, but I never learned anything for years and years and years and years. And listen, I'm like, I have to listen to something else. Now I just listen to Joel Osteen. I know some of you guys out there are probably, but it's such a positive, wonderful, kind of like learning experience every day to get into that car, and I put on Joel Osteen, and he doesn't sell anything on there. I don't buy anything from him. And I have a wealth of knowledge every time I get to that car and I put on, 128 and on Sirius XM, and they are not a sponsor, but if they want to be, we'd be more than happy.
We can work with that.
That's right. We can work on that. We'll give you Bambi's information. So, but that's what I mean by that. Even the news, like, I don't listen to the news anymore. It's like, it's too much because, it's all doom and gloom. It's all a cat running up a tree and somebody saving the cat does not sell Old Spice deodorant, and they are not a sponsor of ours either. But if they want to be, we'd be open to it. But you know what I'm saying? It's just
It's so interesting that you say that too, because I got a call and a text from two different people across the country from my my professional life. Two people on my team throughout the country who both were like, Beth, be safe. I hope everything is okay. Our prayers are going out to you today. And I'm like, for what? Because they were sold this doom and gloom that this like horrific storm was hitting the Northeast. And I kept checking the weather app and I was like, dude, it's going to rain. It's definitely going to rain. I'm not quite sure what else is happening or what am I missing, but I actually wound up coming home early from my being on the road because I was like, am I missing something? There's a state of emergency, and I'm like, what is going on? Nothing. Absolutely nothing was going on.
Just to make it clear for everybody, Beth is a professional wrestler. That's what she does for her full-time job. Just to let you guys know, that's why she's traveling a lot, and she was probably coming home from a WWE or WWF, whatever it is, thing, and yeah. So we just want to clear that up. No, but you're right, Beth. It's people just love to talk about doom and gloom. People just love it, and project it on. I would rather hear, have a great day and just, just be okay out there. That's it. No doom and gloom,
I've went through so many hurricanes in Florida, and you watch the exact same thing on the news, and I'm like, wow, it's really bad out there when I'm walking out, taking the dogs out, and it's like, I shouldn't be out, and it's nothing, not that hurricanes aren't horrible and devastating, but the way the news makes them appear, my poor mother used to just panic, because she would watch the Weather Channel and she would watch CNN and she would watch that stuff and she would just be convinced that we were living through, this horrible thing.
The apocalypse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's happening every single day.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm talking about. Even on a Weather Channel, they can make you fear. Like, fear runs everything, guys. Fear. Watch the TV. Let's, probably, all three of us remember 9/11. Who was not fucking glued to a radio or a television? Not for a day, not for a week, not for 2 weeks, for fucking months. I couldn't turn it off. Months, right? And I'm like, after a while, I'm like, I don't need to hear any more of this. This is not healthy. There's nothing going to change. When you find something out, well, no, and that's kind of what I'm, now we're not saying don't watch, whatever, American Dad. They're not a sponsor of ours, but we're open to it. But we're not saying don't watch those shows, but watch them with caution. Number one, watch them just to have an open mind and for entertainment, don't make it a habit.
Process it. Right. Process it. Like, it's all about what you do with the information. Like, I think too many people, they take information and they just suck it in. Like, I question everything. And I think that's just my generation. Gen X, we just question everything. We're completely jaded. We don't give a fuck. But it's like, I do the same thing in recovery, right? It's the people I choose to surround myself with are subjected to my questioning them consistently until I realize they're either a penny or they're a quarter. Right? Because I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, it just, like you said, just question everything. Like, what good purpose does this serve me? Whatever it is, what good purpose does it serve me? Running. I went running this morning. What good purpose does it serve me? Well, it's going to get me exercise. It's going to get me out of the house. It's going to clear my brain and blah, blah, blah. And then the pizza I ate last night, right? I had my own personal pizza. I'm like, all right, I had that. But Stacy didn't finish her fucking half of her personal pizza. And here I am slamming it down. I should ask myself, what good purpose does this serve me? And I woke up this morning, I'm like, I shouldn't have ate that fucking pizza.
Well, and you made me definitely question my decision about 2 weeks ago. We decided to binge watch, and we're still in the middle of it. Rewatch for me the second time, The Walking Dead.
Oh my God.
Yay!
I'm like, maybe I should watch something better, but no, I love it. Purely entertainment.
Pure entertainment, right? I think that's why I am so attracted to sci-fi. Anything science fiction, like I'm in. Yeah. I mean, I'm 100% bought in. If you're looking for a good book to read for sci-fi, read The Project Hail Mary. It's by Andy Weir. I've read it like 5 times. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, this is definitely not real. And if it is, sign me the fuck up.
I'm in.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm in. I'm 100% in. Yeah.
So I never, like, years and years ago when I lived at my grandmother's house in early recovery. Do you guys remember The Real Life? That show, The Real Life on MTV? It was like the real world. The real world. Yeah, the real world. I remember them having like a marathon. They called them marathons back then, not binge watching. And I remember having that. And I was sick as a dog. So I was off like for Saturday and Sunday. I watched the show every hour it was on. I watched it. I wake up, watch it, lay down. I didn't move out off the couch. I'd watch everything. And then when it was over, I was depressed. Seriously, I was fucking depressed. I was like, it was insane. Exactly. Like this real world or whatever it was my whole life that whole weekend. And I got scared. I'm like, this is not good stuff to do, and social media. Let's talk about social media, guys. Oh, yeah. We see a snippet of somebody's life and they're getting married or they're on vacation or this or that or the other thing. And we don't think of anything except for, oh my God, they have the best life. My life sucks. I'm stuck here behind a fucking microphone talking to these crazy ladies and they're out fucking, doing everything. They're out, on vacation. This one's doing that. Social media is really, really, really bad. You have to take it with a grain of salt and it's entertainment. It's entertainment, but people don't look at it that way. people get upset or even depressed because of it. How come my life isn't like that? You know, I know a lot of people like that. How come my life isn't like that? You know why? Because
dude, I feel bad for millennials because, and Gen Z, they grew up in fishbowls.
Yeah.
Like the three of us, we're like the end of an era where it was like you left school and that was it. That was it.
Yeah.
These kids, they live in fishbowls and they're constantly bombarded with what other people are trying to make them think that their life is. And it's like, I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, dude, that's not
real.
That's not real.
It's not.
When my kids were like 2 and 3, they wanted to watch YouTube videos. And I was like, this is what, 15, 16 years ago. And I was like, that's not real. Commercials are not real. Social media is not real.
Nope.
The only thing that's real are things that you can put your hands on.
Tangible.
Question everything.
That's right.
Everything.
I agree. Question everything. You're right. 100%. Ask again. I always say, what good purpose does this serve me? Right. That's what I say. What good purpose does it serve me? And that's questioning everything, I guess. I don't know. You know, if it's going to help me, I'm going to do it. If it doesn't, you know, and sometimes like that pizza story, I should have questioned it, but you know, you make mistakes sometimes too, you know.
Listen, and maybe it wasn't a mistake. Maybe you just wanted to enjoy it. And that's a reason enough. Like, you know what I mean? There have been, and it's so funny. My best friend, Anne-Marie, she'll like literally text me, I need permission to not do anything for the next hour. And I'm like, I 100% approve this message.
100%
you know what I mean? Like,
message.
because every single thing that she's ever asked me for permission for, I always give her permission because sometimes she just needs permission to, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need, it doesn't have to be a life shattering reason to want to eat the pizza. Nope. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just want to fucking eat the pizza. Now eat the fucking pizza.
I always remember you saying it's okay to sit on the couch for a week and eat bonbons. I remember that. You were sitting on the couch every week.
Yeah. When you were your foot thing, right?
Okay.
With my fucking
that's
foot.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's, you know, but here's the thing, you know, if you don't take it to an extreme and you just enjoy it here and there, right? That's what Beth is saying about the pizza, just here and there, enjoy it, you know, and don't beat yourself up because that's what I'm doing. I beat myself up on the run today. I'm beating myself up now. It's just like, you just enjoy it and that's it, you know, and life goes on.
So here's for your consideration, Ed, what purpose does that serve? Because it does serve a purpose, but not a purpose that you think it serves.
What do you mean?
Okay, so everything serves a purpose, right? You beating yourself up is your way of not allowing yourself to realize and be the awesome person that you are.
You're right. Thanks. I appreciate that.
So we're beating ourselves down because we don't feel worthy. So we enjoy the pizza, and then the purpose after that of beating myself up is just so that I never realize how awesome I am. Because I'm not awesome. I'm a piece of shit down. No, you're not. 100%. I will tell you right now, Ed, you are most genuinely one of the most awesome human I know.
Thanks, Beth.
You're kind, you're forgiving, you're service. Like, eat the fucking pizza and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
All right. And I will eat the pizza and enjoy it.
I have to tell you, you ran more this morning than I have collectively in all 50 years of my life. So there's that too.
Oh my God. And you know, and last night after I ate it, the guy the couple that we went out with, her husband said, she said, oh, he ate a lot. And he goes, well, he runs a lot. I was like, yeah, well, that's true too. You know, like, but you know, here I'm sitting there like, oh, fucking, I'm fat. I'm bullshit. You know, people are probably looking at me eating all this pizza, and you know, I'm like, I'll have another fast. You know, it's just that crazy bullshit in our heads. You know, so but
everything serves a purpose.
Yeah, it does. You're right. 100%. We just can't beat ourselves up. So, anyways, we were talking about act your way into it. What else? Act as if, fake it till you make it. You know, all that stuff, guys. And if you're struggling with any of this stuff, so are the rest of us, right? All of us are out there struggling. If you're looking at social media and thinking everybody's life is perfect, no, it's not. They have the same problems, maybe even more than what you do. So just be where you're at. You know, like Beth said, eat the fucking pizza. And I think Sally said it eat the fucking pizza, right? Eat it, like, but don't. And as we said earlier, don't do it excessively. Once in a while is not a problem, but, and that's what we have to be aware of. That's where the learning comes in. That's what you're talking about earlier, is that let's be aware of all this stuff and talk about it and move through it. And if it's a problem, we talk, we figure out to help it.
And we grow.
Exactly.
Right. And we grow, right? Because you're going to, at some point in your recovery, been sober 30 something years, you're going to eat too much.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's going to fucking happen. We all go through human life stages, and guess what? It's not just because you're an alcoholic.
You're human.
Do we bring it to an alcoholic level? Of course we do. But it's just human. You're just being human, and you're going through the stages of your life. When you find out you've eaten too much pizza, not I ate a pizza last night and I'm going to beat the shit out of myself, but in being in the present moment, right? And this goes back to the 12-step concept. It's like, being a part of the 12-step concept is bringing me to the present moment, because that's the only place that God exists. If I spend most of my time in the present moment, I will start to see that I'm eating too much pizza. I will start to see that I can't control continuing to eat too much pizza. I will come to a place with pizza and be like, I need help. And then I will call Ed and be like, Ed, I've had too much pizza. And Ed will say, let's backtrack and see, when did you start eating too much pizza? What was going on? Let's grow through it. And then all of a sudden, I'm not eating pizza at all now, or I'm having it appropriately. And I realized that I was turning 50 and having an emotional breakdown over it, and was shoving my face full of food so I didn't have to feel the feelings.
That is, look at Beth. Wow. She just surprised herself. Wow. Where did that come from? Did I say that? But no, it's true. You're right. You're right. We learn from it.
Now I grow through it, and I'm fabulous in 50.
Right.
And it's 50.
Fabulous in fucking 50.
I don't think you can ever eat enough pizza. I don't know why we picked pizza, because I could eat pizza every day for every meal.
Like, did you ever see that? And we'll close here in a second. But did you ever see that show, Man versus Food on the cooking channel, right? I know I can take on that pizza challenge. I know I could do whatever that pizza challenge is, and I can get that fucking shirt that says I ate the fucking world's largest pizza, whatever it is. I know I could. So if anybody wants to challenge me to a pizza eating contest, you know how to get a hold of us. We're down for it. Absolutely. And here's the three of us. We'll take you all on, right? Anyways, ladies, that was a good topic. Act as if, whatever that is, ... Let's hope it's positive, because like we said earlier in the show, just recapping, we can act as if negative too, but let's stay in the positive. Let's do it. And if you don't think it's whatever it is, reach out to somebody, ask questions, listen to the show again, rewind, listen to the show again, maybe hang up the show and call somebody, because we probably didn't give you the best advice here, but no, I'm just kidding.
Unless you're near a pizza shop.
That's right. Unless you're near a pizza shop. That's it. Yes, Bambi. So, ladies, it was a great show. It was good seeing both you guys, like we say in Jersey. I mean, ladies, Beth, you're from Jersey. So. You guys. Good to see you guys. And stay sober, everybody.
This concludes this episode of Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast. Follow us on Facebook for past shows and updates, and enjoy free access to twice daily support meetings. Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is available on Facebook, Podbean, iTunes, and YouTube 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.